Hi Tori, my name's Jenna. I'm going to be your social worker today. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to talk with you about some of the confidentiality that's going to be going on while we're talking. Just so you know, everything that you say is going to be between me and you. Nobody else is going to hear about it. If for some reason I feel like you're going to hurt yourself or anybody else, that's the only time when I would need to talk to somebody about what's going on with you. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So can you tell me a little bit about what brings you in?
I'm having issues in my home. My mom and dad and I are separated.
Okay. How long has that been going on?
Like 4 years.
Wow, that's a really long time. How has that process been for you over 4 years?
It's really confusing because it has dragged out for so long. It makes me wonder, like, what's going on. I wish that at this point it's kind of like I'm over it. It's annoying to me, so I don't have any patience for their emotions, and I wish they just make a decision.
So it sounds like you're just starting to be frustrated with them in general about it.
Yeah, and it's confusing and frustrating too. Like for family get-togethers, they act like they're happy and they're together, but at home it's not like that. They don't live together. They live separately. Um, but the house we grew up in, my dad lives there, and it's almost like they want to make everyone think that they live together still.
So it sounds like they don't want everyone to know what's going on with them.
Yes.
And that makes it awkward for you when you're in family situations and everybody's around and you're the one who understands what's going on at home.
Right. Yeah.
So have they explained anything to you about their relationship and what's been happening?
Well, I knew my dad had an affair. When I was a baby, my mom and my dad, I guess they found out together that he had a 3-year-old daughter with another woman. So, well, my mom was pregnant with me when she found out, and I'm their third kid. So, um, it was really difficult, I think, for my mom to leave my dad, being that she had 2 children with him and she was pregnant. So I can understand to some extent why she forgave him. But then, like 4 years ago, when it all started, we had my mom and dad were going out with another couple, like just double dating quite frequently, and then it came out that my dad was having sex with the man's wife. So it was kind of a very messy situation. They went to the same church as me, and it made a lot of things awkward.
Can you tell me how you found out about all of these events?
Well, I actually babysat for the couple that my dad had an affair with the wife. So I was really close with their kids, and even them I was close with I enjoyed spending time with them. And then come to find out that this happened, it really upset me because I feel like my dad didn't really take into account how bad it would affect everyone else in the situation.
So it sounds like it feels like he was just disregarding other people's feelings at the time.
Right. And at the same time, I know it's not just my dad. I know it's the other woman was all in it too. But my dad's the one that's, I guess, I have to deal with, and that people ask me questions about it and stuff.
So just so I understand the, course of events, so your father was having an affair recently. Was that the start of their separation when that happened?
No. Um, they had that affair, and well, he had that affair, and they tried to work things out. They began marriage counseling, but it was still just really awkward in the house and a lot of tension. And um, the other couple got divorced, and the family got all split up. The kids got, the mom got custody of the kids and everything. And then after that situation happened, maybe a year or two later, I was working in the same company my dad worked with, and I started having people approach me, telling me that he was dating one of the women in the office. So,
that must have been really uncomfortable for you, for people to be
yes, and
feeling like they can talk to you about your personal
right,
life.
and it was embarrassing too, and then it came out to be true that he was dating the woman in the office, and to this day he's still seeing her. He says he doesn't, but people still tell me that they see her and stuff.
So right now it sounds like everything, just like the chaos of everything, has moved on, but there's still turmoil between your mother and your father.
Yes. And it makes me wonder why they're even trying to work things out if my dad really hasn't changed a lot.
So that's just a lot of confusion as to why this situation is ongoing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what is your relationship like between you and your dad?
It's non-existent, really.
What about with your mom?
It was really good. And I can say it was really good. It's just there's a wall or some type of tension between us because I'm mad at her also for putting up with it and allowing him to hurt her and walk all over her, and I think she deserves a lot better, so I don't see why she just wanted decide to move on from it. I know that she's has kids with him and spent all this time, dedicated so much of time to him, but we're all grown up and we can manage our feelings and everything ourselves. It's more confusing now to me that they're just stringing it out than just closing it. There's no closure, so.
Right. So it sounds like you're just looking for some sort of action since your mom hasn't done anything, and you don't want her to continue to be hurt. You feel like she should stand up for herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, can you tell me more about what it's like when you guys are around extended family members?
It's really I stay away from my mom and dad. I try to ignore them and just not pay attention to their acting. I I really just am disgusted when how they act with how they act around extended family members. I've always been a firm believer that you should just always be yourself. And I understand they don't want everyone in their business and to know everything, but I think that it's really unhealthy for them to be acting as if everything's okay when it's not.
Mm-hmm. Well, it definitely sounds like this is a big issue for you in your life. Like, since it has been such a long period of time, and I mean, you use the word disgusted, so that must resonate with you a lot with everything that happens when you're around them. So how often are your mother and father around each other?
It used to be like they would go out on the weekends together, it seemed, and during the week when they worked, they just kind of stayed separate. Mm-hmm. But and I have a feeling that might have been more for just control reasons. Perhaps my mom just didn't want my dad to be around on the weekends because thought he'd be up to things. Mm-hmm. It's other than that, they really don't spend a lot of time together, and it seems like it's starting to dwindle more and more as time goes on.
So do they live together?
No, they own a couple properties, and one of the houses became vacant recently that they ran out. So my mom moved into it.
So it sounds like definitely the process of separation is going to continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really just want it to be over with. it's confusing to me because in a way it kind of like makes me wonder how like how it will reflect on my relationships in the future, and it already has given me trust issues, not just with men but just anyone. It's hard for me to like trust them and think that they're actually gonna stay there and be honest. It's hard.
So can you tell me more about how that affects your trust with other people?
Um, it's like I can tell someone I trust them 100% and really, fully, really mean it. Like I would trust them with my life, but then at the bottom of my stomach, it's like I do trust them, but what's to say that they just don't turn around and walk out of my life? And I know that's kind of confusing, but like, what's to say that they just don't just cut ties with me and they're like, I don't care about you anymore. Even if it's nothing to do with being betrayed, it's just like, it's hard for me to even become attached to anyone anymore and even build a relationship because I'm so scared that even if you put 40 years into it, it's going to end.
So it sounds like just the whole process of no matter how much time or commitment somebody gives you, you still have that fear of disloyalty happening at some point in time.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody that you talk with your trust issues about?
My sister, me and her feel very similar about a lot of things, so we're really close, and we can always talk about it when new things happen and one of like my family members approaches me and tells me they saw my dad at a bar with another woman or something like that. I can always go and talk to her, and she gives me support, and just it's good to know that someone else feels the same way I do and is going through it or not going through it myself.
Definitely. It's always good to have somebody just to be able to know exactly what it is that's going on.
Yeah.
So, how do you think your life would be different if this wasn't going on with your parents?
I think that mine and my dad's relationship would be much better. It was never like the best even before the affair and the separation, but I think we would still be able to talk and be in the same room. Now I really can't even stand his presence. And maybe I kind of took pride in the fact that my parents were still married because so many people's parents are divorced. And maybe I would have a little more hope that marriage can last. Because now it kind of just makes me wonder.
Well, that's definitely understandable that you felt like you were honored that your parents were still having that commitment. So for you, that was a very much of a letdown and changed your mindset on a lot of things when that happened. So, can you just tell me more about how that affects, like, how you cope with things? Does that affect how you interact with people in your daily relationships?
Yeah, I would say so, and I try my best not to let it affect my relationships. But one thing that really makes me angry is that the woman that he was dating at his job, she knew that he was married and about his family, and she was well aware of the whole situation. So, like, sometimes me and my boyfriend are together, and there's a lot of times when I get insecure if there's like a girl talking to him or something, and it could be like the most harmless conversation, but it's just like you never really know what anyone's intentions are, and then it really makes me mad that that woman would continue to pursue a relationship with my dad, and he was married or whatever he told her. She knew that he had a family.
Mm-hmm. So the process of events, she knew what was happening between your family and that he did have a family, in fact. So that upsets you that she disregarded that and continued with her own feelings.
Yeah, and then it makes me wonder like how many other people out in the world that really don't really take into consideration everyone else, that how many people one decision can impact.
Right.
It's just, who can I really trust? And then it's like, you never really know what anyone's really, if their intentions are good or not.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like it definitely, you think that this impacted quite a lot of people because of their decisions.
Yeah, definitely. It's even really upsetting his first affair, how they got divorced and the kids went with their mom, and it's not that the mom was a bad person because she was having an affair. She was a good mom, but the dad he ended up having to go into rehab because he started drinking and became an alcoholic. He's in recovery now, and he had his own business, and he lost his business. They foreclosed on their house, like literally the couple's whole life. And their kids were younger. Like my dad's kids, we're all older, and they're younger, and they're like, the youngest was 1 year old. So it was just like, I feel like it really impacted them more. It like, just so much stuff was ruined in their life. Like, and it's like, how can, I don't know how you can make a decision and not think about everyone that will be affected by it, and then still, then choose to make that same mistake again. It's just like really hard for me to understand my dad's decisions.
Right. So it sounds like basically you're just feeling like, why would somebody do this to another person? Why would somebody make those decisions knowing what the consequences would be?
Be so selfish about it.
So you're just feeling, that's just a painful feeling to have, knowing that that affected you so much and somebody didn't take the time to think about that. Do you have any examples of a time when things were good between you and your family, when you guys were able to get along?
There's been moments, but for the most part, our family's always been really wishy-washy. Someone's always in an argument or mad at someone or some type of tension. There's a lot of, I guess, just resentment towards my dad from me and my sisters just growing up. But just besides the affair thing, he was really hard on us and not very accepting of us. So we've never really been a close family. So in a way, it's easy for me to accept that they're getting a divorce, but at the same time, it is hard. We did have good times together as a family, but nothing like extravagant. I would never say we were like a close family.
Right.
So like this Thanksgiving, we're not having Thanksgiving at the house like we have every year since forever, and it's kind of like I'm looking forward to it because we're gonna have it at my sister's house, and it's like a new start for us all.
So it sounds like you're looking forward to some certain things.
Yeah.
Some positive changes in the family dynamic.
Right. I feel like not having Thanksgiving at our house is kind of like one more step towards mom and dad making their decision. Finally.